You deserve scorn, Edward. Prancing about like one of us, bringing shame to our cause.
And what is that? Your cause?
To be blunt, we kill people.
Each new chapter in the Assassin's Creed story brings us to a new place and a new era, but Assassin's Creed IV Black Flag was the first to give us an entirely new way of getting there. Moving back in time from the American Revolution to the Golden Age of piracy, Assassin's Creed IV Black Flag introduced a Caribbean playground with, sorry, got a little distracted. Exploring the tropics as Edward Kenway. Whoa, that's just... Oh, wow, look at... Haha, avast ye craven lapdogs of King Philip, ye Tyro milksops, your ships shall be my prize this day, plague seize ye, you'll rest this night beneath the waves, ye... Right, sorry. Assassin's Creed IV Black Flag gave players a big open ocean in which to essentially run amok, combining the fantasies of being an assassin and being a pirate into one big sandbox with 3 major cities, countless islands to explore, and no shortage of ships to battle and capture. As we prepare for the carriage-jacking combat and gang warfare of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, let's dive straight into the game that took Assassin's Creed's freedom and criminal mischief to soaring new heights.
All it takes is a few drops of blood, sweat, and a swatch of cloth.
We fly no colors out here. Praise the lack of them.
If it's not obvious by now, the big shift here was a focus on naval combat and exploration. Piloting a ship through aquatic battles wasn't exactly new to this series, having been introduced in Assassin's Creed 3, but where Connor Zakilla was bound to linear missions, Edward Kenway's more heavily armed Jackdaw sailed in an open world of colonial cities, sea forts, and randomized vessels that you were free to attack and plunder.
We intend to take all that you own.
Piracy was a 3-step process. First, you'd need to find a suitable target with Edward's spyglass, then hammer your prey with different kinds of cannon shot. Once its masts were splintered and it was dead in the water, you could swing over to fight its crew and strike its colors. Or if you were in a hurry, sink the ship with another volley and scoop up whatever bits of cargo were left floating on the waves. Taking either course of action often enough meant having to deal with pirate hunters. But if you'd been properly upgrading the Jackdaw, this just meant more fighting and more loot. Ships you'd captured through piracy could even be added to your personal fleet and sent on missions throughout the Caribbean, which also introduced a strategic side game about clearing their paths through RPG-esque battles. Roaming the Caribbean wasn't just about high seas robbery. When you weren't passing the time by listening to your crew sing collectible sea shanties, the open ocean offered no shortage of little islands and villages to explore. These in turn yielded all kinds of loose treasure, stelae that added puzzle elements to grabbing collectibles, and opportunities for hunting wildlife. Gathering pelts and other animal parts was also vital to the new crafting system. Taking a page from Far Cry 3, making new stuff was now straightforward and vital to upgrading Edward's health and other capabilities. Edward wasn't just confined to hunting on land either. If you spotted sharks, whales, or other prey off the starboard bow, you could lower a whaling boat and try to harpoon a huge sea beast.
Tie it down!
But keeping it hooked could be tricky, and if you weren't careful, you risked becoming prey instead.
Look at the size of him!
You could also get really up close and personal with some of these creatures by diving to the ocean floor and exploring one of 7 shipwrecks. Featuring memorably deadly challenges, these undersea environments were the Caribbean's answer to the previous game's puzzle-filled dungeons, and they continually pushed you to hunt for air barrels and experience the unique terror of hiding from huge sharks. The rewards included plans for elite ship parts, however, giving you the final upgrades needed to take on the legendary ships lurking ominously at each corner of the map. Not content to stop there, Assassin's Creed IV Black Flag's DLC, Freedom Cry, added a new consideration to the mix: freeing slaves. At sea, this meant getting into naval battles while doing your best to minimize harm to your enemy's captives.
It's all over.
On land, however, it meant breaking up slave auctions, stealing keys to free captives, and taking every opportunity to annihilate slavers with Adewale's machete and blunderbuss. While the seafaring additions were pretty substantial, Edward's ground game also offered a few improvements over Connor's. With a cutlass in each hand, he was more fearsome than any of his predecessors, able to effortlessly cut down an entire enemy crew single-handedly if that's what was needed. With the ability to carry up to 4 pistols at once, he could kill multiple foes in quick succession without having to reload, and the addition of free aiming let him more precisely fire at any target without getting close or entering into combat. A blowgun similar to Aveline's from Assassin's Creed III Liberation added non-lethal sleep and berserk darts to Edward's arsenal, and trading in weapon wheels for a streamlined inventory cross made switching between pistols, fists, and rope darts quicker than ever. Other changes were more subtle. Viewpoints became unlockable fast travel points that also revealed nearby collectibles, and Edward's eagle vision let him watch targets through walls, making it easier to stay on their trails.
Well, looks like Olivier wants to meet with you. It's exciting.
Assassin's Creed IV Black Flag also introduced a new direction to Assassin's Creed's modern-day storyline. With Desmond out of the picture, the focus was shifted to a new, anonymous protagonist who just happened to work for Abstergo's entertainment division. Like in the first Assassin's Creed, you spent your time in the present hunting for emails and other tidbits of information, but this time it had a more covert feel to it. You were hacking, snooping, and exploring an ever-expanding area of Abstergo's offices, and that carried its own kind of tension.
Pretty raw stuff.
This potent mixture of office skullduggery and nautical adventure would carry over to Assassin's Creed Rogue, one of the 2 Assassin's Creed games released in 2014 and the subject of our next video.
It's never too late to ruin Templar plans.
Are things really so different on the Templar side of this endless war? Find out in our next installment, and keep it at Ubiblog for all things Assassin's Creed.